Hey GrissomGang, welcome back. So for today's video, I wanted to give you guys a trio. I wanted to do something for breakfast, lunch, and dinner that is easy and most importantly, budget friendly, okay? Let's get started. Starting with breakfast, we have a bacon, egg, and cheese bagel inspired by none other than McDonald's, simply because I love the sauce that they put on theirs. Now, before starting anything, please wash your hands. So I'm going to cook my bacon in the oven on a cookie sheet lined with aluminum foil. And that's because not only does it cook better, but it's easier to clean up. So I placed that in the oven at 425 degrees for a total of 15 minutes. Now while the bacon cooks, I'm going to start with this signature sauce. This is what takes this sandwich from basic to banging, okay? Going with some mayonnaise, and then I go in with some mustard. I'll also add some ranch, give that a good mix. For just a little more flavor, I'm going to add a little bit of that Miss Dash I love. Then I'll go in with some garlic powder. Mix it all together, honey. And once I'm done mixing, I'll go ahead and place it in the refrigerator to cool while I cook everything else. Now I'm sure we all know how to cook an over easy egg, but if you don't, that's what I'm here for. We're virtually learning, okay? Now what you want to do is tap your egg against your pan about 1 or 2 times until you see it cracking open. Place it over your pan, apply a little pressure, and let it drop gracefully. No shells, please, and thank you. Now to season my egg, I go in with just a little bit of seasoning salt. You can use whatever brand you like. I also go in with some Miss Dash seasoning. This is the table blend that has no salt in it. I also poke and flatten my yolk. I'm not a big yolk person, but if you do like yolk, you can most definitely keep it. After about a minute, I go ahead and give my eggs a flip. Now my flip wasn't that great, but you know what? It's all right. It was still good. Now at this point, I'm going to divide my egg. And then I will place my cheese on there to give it a good melt. This is just simple cheddar cheese. I'll place 1 egg on the top just to make sure that that cheese melts really good. In the same pan, I'm going to toast my bagel. I didn't use the toaster. I did it old-fashioned style this time. Go ahead and give that a good flip. And just like that, we are ready to put this sandwich together. So I'm going to take some of that sauce and spread it on that bagel, both sides. And that sauce actually tasted way better simply because you let it sit in that refrigerator and those flavors marry together. Really, really good. Now I'm going to go in with my egg that has the cheese in it. If you want to add another piece of cheese, you can do that. I'm going to go in with my bacon. Most people cross theirs over like that, but I like to break mine up so that it's evenly spread out and I can have a little bacon on every bite. And that is your bacon, egg, and cheese bagel inspired by McDonald's, but tastes way better, okay? This was so good. Now, if you're trying to be a little more healthy, feel free to substitute the meat or the bread for whatever you'd like. Now, let's do something quick and easy for lunch. So a great idea for lunch is, of course, chicken salad. You can also substitute the chicken for shrimp. It'll be the same recipe. So first I start with a rotisserie chicken. You can buy that at your local grocery store. Quick and easy. You can also actually cook chicken breast, but who has time for that? So I go ahead and take off the legs because I'm not going to use that meat. I set that meat to the side. The legs and the wings I do not use. I mainly use the breast. So I go ahead and peel that apart. Take off all of the meat on the breast. Any other meat that you like. If you want to put the wings, if you want to put the legs, if you want to put the thighs, you're more than welcome to do that. But I just tear off as much meat as I want. Now when I'm selecting my meat, I generally pull that skin right off simply because I don't want a lot of skin. I want it to be mainly meat. And don't worry about the chicken being too big. We will break it down later. Right now we are just selecting the meat we want. And once I come to an end of picking my meat, I go ahead and take some of that skin, break it up into really small pieces, just because that skin does have some of that seasoning and flavor. So I just take just a little bit of it. You can use as much as you want though. Now I'm gonna go in with some mayonnaise once I'm done pulling my chicken. I do about 2 spoonfuls of the mayonnaise, going with some Old Bay. You can use as much as you like of the Old Bay. And then finally I go in with some black pepper. And that is all I use, those 3 simple ingredients in with my chicken. Now I'm gonna mix it up with a fork. I'm folding it, but that fork automatically starts to shred some of that meat. So I give it a good mix. Now once I finish mixing it, I make sure it doesn't need anything else and that it's to my liking, and then we're done. So for my bread, I use Hawaiian rolls. It's something about the sweetness of the Hawaiian rolls mixed with the savory of the chicken salad. Ooh, so good. But if you want to be a little more healthy, you can use lettuce and make it as a lettuce wrap. You can also add raisins, you can do cheese, tomatoes, whatever you want to add, you can do that. But look at how good this looks. Now I went ahead and paired mine with some chips, but you can pair yours with a pickle or even a simple salad if you like. Last but not least, let's give you a dinner idea. So we have a baked chicken dinner. Let's get right to it. So I'm going to start with my chicken. I already have a video on how I clean and wash my chicken. Please check that out. But please, please, please be sure to clean and wash your meat. So I'm going to go in with my seasoning, starting with garlic powder. As you can see, we really like garlic powder because it's running out. And Bay actually did the seasoning for me. Shout out to Bay. I'm going to go in with some Miss Dash, that table blend. Of course, y'all know I love that seasoning. You can use as much as you like. And then lastly, I'm going to go in with some seasoning salt. Again, this is preference. You can go in with as much as you want, as little as you want, but you can go ahead in with that. And then he went ahead and gave it a good mix. Now you can add more seasoning if you like. You can add different types of seasoning if you want. This part is completely up to you. This is just what we used. We like having a few veggies in our baked chicken. So hubby's cutting a onion. We used 1 whole onion and then a half of a bell pepper. If you want to use any other veggies, you're more than welcome to do that. We also like adding a little bit of butter in there. Then we go ahead in with our cut bell peppers as well as our onion. And then once we add all of that in, we give it one good last mix. Chicken looks bomb already. Now, lastly, we added a little bit of liquid smoke. Now, this was my first time using this. Shout out to my sister who got this for me. It added a smokiness to your meat. It was actually really good. You can go ahead and cover your chicken and place it in the oven at about 350 degrees for an hour and a half. And then uncover it. Whoo, look. Moment of silence, please, just for the chicken. Then I go ahead and pour off the excess juice. Now this broth that the chicken has produced is what I preserve. I put it in jars, take out any onions or peppers that fell out, and you can freeze it and use it for whatever you want. You can place your chicken back in the oven uncovered for about another 30 minutes or so just to get the brownness that you like. We place some of that hot barbecue sauce that we made in our cookout video on the chicken, but if you want to leave it plain, you're more than welcome to do that. So paired with my chicken, I'm going to be doing some scalloped potatoes. So I've washed and peeled my potatoes. I'm cutting them into thin slices now. And then to expedite the process, I am going to boil my potatoes. I added some salt and a little bit of that chicken broth just to add some flavor to the potatoes. Please, please, please do not overcook your potatoes. Literally 5 minutes or less. Once I take them out, I lay them out flat so that they can dry out while I cook the sauce. So for this cheese sauce, I'm going to start out by making a roux. So you have your butter, and then you go in with your flour once your butter is completely melted. Consistently stirring, you want to cook that flour down for about 2 to 3 minutes. Then you can go ahead in with your milk. Make sure you are consistently mixing this because you don't want it to be clumpy. And then I go ahead in with some cheese. I used cheddar cheese, but you can use whatever cheese that you like. I added some salt and pepper to this as well. And this is the consistency that you are looking for. Once all of your cheese is melted, this is the consistency that you want. It looks beautiful. I poured that cheese sauce over my potatoes, placed some cheese on the top, put it in the oven on 400 degrees for about 10 minutes, and then on broil for about 2 minutes just to get that crisp on the top. I paired this with some green beans, which I used some of that chicken broth for. But you guys, look at how good this looks. It looks amazing. That juicy chicken, those cheesy potatoes. Y'all don't mind that piece of cornbread hanging off in the back, okay? But anyway, there you have it, a meal for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And you can make all of these meals individually for about $10 or so. Meaning it'll cost you about $10 to buy the ingredients for each meal, but that will last you about 3 to 5 days. Talk about budget friendly. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at GotToBeGrissom, and I'll see you.